Hey everyone, it's Will, GamerDad, with another video for you. So first off, I'd like to shout out to one of my YouTube members, Tinky. Thanks for your support! Now I'm sorry for the delay in uploading this video. I got caught up in some, personal matters, being busy at Christmas time, and so I didn't get a chance to upload this video until this morning. But that being said, we do have a new notice. As you know, it is the beginning of the month. So, like usual, WFS does put out a Fateful encounter for 7 days, and it's called the 7-day encounter. And of course, part of the fun of that is not only evaluating the 3 units available, and also trying to tie them in together. Now, if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. I also do have a Patreon account for those who want to support me this way. Now, just a quick reminder, because I haven't mentioned this for a while, there are trials that you can earn rewards in every month. For those who already do the paid heavens or the land trials, with a subscription, you'll automatically have a lot of different trials to earn some chrono stones, some light or shadow for your units, some meow coins, and so on and so forth. But even for free players who do not have any, paid subscriptions, you can earn some trials. Check the trial tab in the menu for more information. So of course, we do have Silver Striker, Pizzica, and this one is not ES Claude. This is AS Claude, as you can clearly see with his specialized bow weapon. And so I'm assuming that this month we are going to be talking about Pierce units. Let me know in the comments below if you do think there is any other tie-in, but my guess is just Pierce units and so on and so forth. So, in today's episode of Should You Summon, we can discuss the merits of going through these 3 units. As usual, the 3 units are only at a 7.77% chance on the 10th encounter, which means combined odds of around 20%. And if you don't get one of the 3 featured units, you will get a guaranteed 5-star, being that it is Faithful. However, it is from the large pool of other units available, new, old, and in between. You can see that ES Claude is in there, however, not upgraded 0.01. Most of them are also 0.01 on pulse 1 to 9, with a slight increase on pulse 10. And unfortunately, bots, Rainbow Sisters, and Knights still pervade the entire summon. So, just my thoughts about these 3 units. We'll go from left to right as usual. Now, Silver Striker is an interesting alter unit. When she first came out, she was part of the future mythos, and her role in that was interesting, shall I say, to the least. Also, you can argue that her uniform is quite intriguing for some people out there. Now, that being said, as a Thunder Pierce unit that does extremely high DPS within the AF and helps with other Thunder teams' DPS, she is quite decent. And the reason why I only say decent is that outside of AF, her damage is quite limited. She does not have one-shot kills outside the AF. Her other element, which is not Thunder, would be Water Pierce. However, that also requires the zone to be awakened, as opposed to just outside or less restrictive abilities. And so, unless you have all the right conditions falling for her, she has, I would argue, to be more of a niche unit as opposed to a mainstay unit. Not only that, but in Thunder teams, you have the likes of, if you're talking Thunder Elemental teams, you'll have the likes of Nakoko, RCF, AS Victor. There's other ones out there. And don't forget, there are upcoming units that can switch elements as well. We're looking at you, spoiler alert, AS Nakoko, and things like that. And so, I would say she's decent, but I don't think she's definitely a top-rated unit. She's certainly not a meta unit that you absolutely need to die for. Now, Pizzica in the mill is very interesting. At one point when she was first summoned, she was the mainstay of many people's teams. The best part about her is she is a plug-and-play unit. What I mean by that is, if you don't know much about the game, if your roster is limited, or just, you need a lot of different tools in one unit, Pisaka can supply all of that. Her Pierce DPS is essentially nothing. She's a very low-end Pierce DPS. However, her support kits are through the roof. She has a Pierce Fire attack that can give crit damage up 60%, and I think it's weapon damage for Pierce units up 60%. Or Pierce resistance. It enhances Pierce damage by a significant amount. I'd have to check the wiki for that. So just a plug there. Check the AE wiki. And if you feel free to, you can definitely donate to that as well. It is self-run by, I guess, the players, as opposed to owned by WFS. Now that being said, not only does she have Pierce support capabilities, she has singing. And she's one of the few units that can sing. Her singing can do things like inflict break, which can double your damage on a single hit. Her song can double the damage straight out, and if you combine that with break, which is in the same song, Rhapsody Aria, you can get up to quad damage with a single hit if you time your hit correctly. Not only that, she has another song called Oratorial, which can cleanse all status at the end of turn and heal upwards of 30% or more, depending on how you set her up. If you kit her out to increase restore effects, she can heal a significant amount for you, which basically and that song, by the way, also reduces damage by 50%. So you can reduce damage, you can shield, you can status cleanse, you can heal, or you can go all out offense. You can double your damage, quad with break, or you can just use her in the air and increase your pierce damage through crit damage, and so on and so forth. Some would say that you don't necessarily need her now, or if your team is powerful enough, you probably don't need a kit such as that, because you just can go all out offense. And if you go all out defense, there might be better solutions for you. But as an all-around singer, she is the OG singer. She still can be fit into quite a few teams, regardless of if it's a Pierce team or Fire team or not, and she can still do quite a bit for you. Okay, finally, AS Claude. AS Claude, when he first came out, was our first Wind Zone setter. His DPS is very limited as well. However, he does have bow support. That means he can increase bow damage by 50%. He can also have a status shield. He can do wind resistance down, although at this point, I think even stackable is weaker than many other units out there, and so on and so forth. So, honestly, not much to say there. The only benefit about him at this point is probably to side grade to ES, or if you really need Pierce support, you can go with the normal style Claude, although at that point, I think he has also been power crept quite a bit, being that both normal style as well as AS Claude are quite old in the game now. So overall, if you want a 777 chance of getting Pizzica, I guess you could opt to. I would actually advise you all to pass on this banner, regardless of how much you want one or more of these units. I really don't think that they add extremely a big amount to your team, except Pizzica is still quite good. I'll just tell you from my veteran mindset here. I've had Pizzica since she came out last year. She's been out for about a year now. And I can say, honestly, that I have used her a few times, but certainly not enough to warrant calling her, in my roster anyways, absolutely necessary. And I always use the same term. Absolutely necessary. Is any unit absolutely necessary? No. But I would say I depend on some units more than others, and Pizzica hasn't been added to my team for a long time, just because, like I said, she's a plug-and-play for many other teams for either survivability or damage. Some of my top weapon teams or elemental teams have enough DPS and also have enough defensive support, such that I don't need to plug her in, so if that makes sense. But that being said, 777. Just like 777 free draws. We really need a lot more of that. Anyways, let me know in the comments below if you're already summoned for this, if you're planning on summoning for this, or if you're saving your paid Heavens subscription ticket or your 1,000 paid stones for a future banner. Keep in mind that our global anniversary is coming up in a couple of months. Hopefully there'll be some surprises there to use that on. Or Don't also forget that main story part 3 is coming, and if we are lucky enough to follow along with Japan, we'll have a Star Dream at that point. I'm sure even if you want Pisaka and you don't have other holes on your team, you can Star Dream her instead there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.